and later we'll take questions from the floor. So, Mr. Zhang, the floor is yours. Dear friends from the press, good morning. At the invitation of the Russian Federation President Vladimir Putin, President Xi Jinping will visit Vladivostok for the 4th EEF on September 11th to 12th. It is the first time that the Chinese president visits the EEF, and it is one of the most important high-level for diplomatic events attended in the later year. Over the years, China-Russian comprehensive partnership has maintained great momentum, and we have entered a new era of fast development and high-level development. We share the core interests, we share common ground, and deliver support to each other on issues of great interest and core interests. Our bilateral trade volume reached $58.3 billion, up by 28%. China is the largest trading partner to Russia. Our trade mix has been improving, and we have also been improving the trade quality. We have worked in the infrastructure, energy, transport, and aviation industry. We have delivered a number of big projects in this regard. We also worked well in science and technology, agriculture, and other areas. We have delivered a number of concrete results. We have worked a lot in the tourism industry. The tourists to each country has been improving in number. We have forged a stronger relations with each other. On major international and regional issues, we shared common interest and ground. We uphold international justice and uphold the world peace and stability. As is known to all, we share a fine tradition with Russia to hold a number of great events like the tourism year, educational year. These activities have boosted the understanding among the peoples of the two countries. And this year has been defined by the heads of state of two countries for the local cooperation between the two countries. We have been conducting friendly cooperation and exchanges between our regions and landlocked regions, especially on the Far East region. Both countries share geopolitical advantage in cooperation on Far East region, and we have achieved great results. And China has been the largest trading partner and the largest source of investment to Russia. The World Eastern Economic Forum was initiated by President Vladimir Putin in 2011. In 2016, it has been the 4th edition, and the forum has maintained increasing influence on the international community. It has become a major platform for communication and investment. And for 3 consecutive years, we have sent senior-level group delegations to the EEF. All parties have worked well and closely under the EEF, which has been injecting new energy to the forum. And this time, President Xi will lead a delegation to the 4th EEF. This showed our great support to the EEF and the fine tradition of the two countries. It also demonstrates our goodwill and our support, as well as our attention to the EEF, and as well as China's will to promote the prosperity and high-level development among the region. And we do this also to promote the all-around cooperation with Russia. We wish this EEF will generate great outcomes and will further contribute to the peace and stability to the region and improve the well-being of the people. President Xi will attend a number of events during the EEF. He will also hold the third meeting with President Putin in this year. He will also attend a banquet to be held by President Putin. And during the EEF, we will witness a number of educational events and other events President Xi will address at the EEF. According to the schedule, President Xi will also attend a number of other activities arranged by the Russian side, and also the friendly exchanges between us and other national leaders. We believe this visit to the fourth EEF will turn out a great success and further contribute to the China-Russian comprehensive partnership. And this will open a new chapter for the bilateral cooperation. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Zhang.
There was a press conference from China's Foreign Ministry regarding Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit to the 2018 Eastern Economic Forum in the Russian city of Vladivostok. For more insight into that, we're joined in the studio by Mr. Cui Hongjian from the Chinese Academy of International Studies. Well, Mr. Cui, let's start with some figures. Actually, according to the Assistant Foreign Minister, China is the largest trading partner of Russia. And talking about a Far Eastern region of Russia, China has been the largest trading partner of this particular region, and also it's the largest source of foreign investment to a Far East region of Russia. So how important is this year's forum regarding this momentum?
Yes, as we know that I think especially very important sense of the participant of Mr. Xi to this Eastern Economy Forum is, firstly, I think to showcase its importance of China-Russia economic relations. Of course, not only economic, and because now both two countries have a very comprehensive coordination partnership. And as you mentioned that already in the last 8 years, China kept its biggest trading partner with Russia. For example, last year it reached 84 billion US dollars, for the bilateral trade. And this year, I think it will be another very successful year for the bilateral trade between China and Russia. It looks will go, up to 100 billion US dollars. And also at the same time, I think that the regional cooperation, for example, between some regions of China and the Far East region of Russia, I think it's also very important. So I think that's also a very important sense for Mr. Xi's visit for this forum. Because as we know, the Far East part of Russia take a very, very great land, and it takes 36% of the territory of the whole Russian land. But at the same time, it's a little bit, underdeveloped. For example, it's just less 6% of the population in Russia. And also it just take, if we look at the GDP and also industry and also agriculture, the Far East part of Russia just take 6% of the whole GDP of Russia, and just 5% of the industry. And also
so it's a vast region with lots of potential. The momentum could catch up further in the near future. So the press conference also mentioned some particular areas for future cooperation. For example, infrastructure, agriculture, e-commerce, and even trade. What would be happening after this forum in this particular regards?
Yeah, as we know, this forum will be the fourth one in the serial. I think in the past three forums, Russian side and all of the other stakeholders, including China, we talked a lot about the potential and how could we get some more cooperation to develop the local economy in far eastern part of Russia, including how to support the investment and how to find out some fields of cooperation. Just like you mentioned, the agriculture and forestry development and energy. And I think now, of course, for China and Russia, especially for cooperation between China and Russia in far east part, it would be infrastructure. Because as we know, one of the main reasons for the development of a far eastern part of Russia is the poor of the infrastructure, transportation, and some industry park or some other. So I think it will be a very important field for China and Russia. Besides that, I think the financial cooperation and to get some more, favorable environment for investors, not only from China and also from other economies, would be a very, very important issues for this forum at this moment.
What about political trust between China and Russia? As the foreign ministry just mentioned, President Xi Jinping will be meeting Russian President Vladimir Putin during this time's forum in Vladivostok, and this will be their third meeting within this year. What does this tell about bilateral relationship?
I think firstly, we would like to know that now China and Russia share a very, very high level, mutual trust. And I think part of them is because of the long history of this exchange on the highest level. And just like you mentioned, the frequency of Mr. Xi's visit and the meeting between two leaders. And also, I think on the other hand is the very, very good mutual trust give a very strong support for the comprehensive cooperation. I think that's also a reason why China become the biggest trading partner with Russia. And I think now, especially on the background of the huge changes of international order at this moment, it will give another, very, very strong driving force for this mutual trust between China and Russia. For example, both two countries, both of us are facing some uncertainties from some unilateral and protectionism. So I think that it will give a new dynamic, especially through this Far Eastern Economic Forum and Mr. Xi's visit. It will give another, a very, very strong driving force for mutual trust between two countries.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cui Hongjian from China Institute of International Studies, and we'll provide you more details regarding this upcoming visit of Chinese President Xi Jinping to Russia in our later programs. But now it's back to you, Rochelle, in Washington. Rochelle?
Pan Dang there with our special coverage out of Beijing. Well, it's been a long and bumpy road leading up to this latest turn in the US-China trade relationship. Here's a look at the key developments in this tumultuous year.
The first salvo of the year came in January. The U.S. slaps tariffs on solar panels in